Welcome back, everybody. It's me, Burrito. I'm on Rori, famous swamp-ass Shrek'd planet, and I got a lot of stuff to collect here because despite doing the legacy here, it didn't take me very many locations. First one we're going to start, though, is we're going to start at the Kabbalah Bunker, aka the Spice Mine. So we're going to get a location badge there, and then we're going to get a clicky here. I think it's a gun. Apparently some Rebel Commandos is taking out the Spice Mine. Hey, actually, I remember coming out here during something. Well, anyway, the spice mine you get from Walk with the Front. Why is it called a bunker? I mean, I guess a bunker can be in a cave. It doesn't have to be a structure. I just always think of it as a structure, or at least a structure that's been somewhat formed. But I guess this is a mine, so it's probably been... Damn, I'm looking like a dumbass right now, huh? Kabbalah Assassin. See, it's like one of those things where, this used to be a item combination. I don't think it worked. But I think with the new Legends, you actually do this bicep overshirt combo now. That wasn't where I was going to go with the sentence, but I just realized, oh, that used to be an invalid item combination, but I guess you could do that now. Where I was going with this was, like, the entire time I was on, like, Talus, never saw, or Rori, I never saw a Kabbalah, like, NPC. If I did, I don't remember. Then again, the Rori plot sucked, so I didn't really retain any of it. Other than that, I was very grumpy doing it. But there's a whole spice mining operation going on here. You could have worked that in. Whatever. We got our 5's DE10. And we got our location badge here, so let's just move on to the next spot, shall we? Which I guess there was one west of here? I don't know if it's possible for Star Wars Galaxies, but I think if I was ever to play like an MMO that had like open world player housing similar to this, it'd be really cool if houses had compatibility to be built on like the edge or size of like mountains or cliffs, or at least partially over water. Fully on water would be cool too. But there's a lot of cool like structure configurations in Star Wars Galaxies that have limited applicability because of how much they disagree with terrain, or you know how they're all allergic to water. Some of the houses I think would probably look fine like on water or a side of a cliff as is. Others would obviously need to be have a little bit of some, but I don't think that's easily attainable with the current Star Wars Galaxies. It'd take a lot of work. I imagine, as most changes to this game do. Alright, looks like we found a normal militia place. Can I even go in your house? What's in here? Empty. They just dropped an empty Naboo house here. Put nothing in it. Put some nice trees lined up in here. Like, okay, whatever. Why are the normal Michelin Commando hanging out on the opposite side of the planet of normal? Like, what are you doing? Either way, I'm gonna kill them and take their armor. They don't need it. At least not anymore. Alright, let's go get the one that's outside of Restus here. In the northeast. So they need to revamp the game in UE5. Yeah, it'd be cool. I just don't think anyone wants to carry the torch on that project. I know somebody got the ball rolling and opened it up, but damn, man, that's quite the undertaking. I'd be down to try playing on it. I don't think I have the proficiency, at least not right now, to undertake a project like that. I always think of the things I would want to do this game, and then I kind of realize that a lot of those ideas are just kind of a waste of time in the context of like getting other people's interest to engage with them. Because a lot of people just want to play Galaxies, right? They don't necessarily want to see your take on Galaxies. They just kind of want to play Galaxies with some new content and quality of life updates. And I respect that. You know I don't respect, though? The fact that this isn't right here. It's in a nearby cave. Is it south? Where's the entrance? Yeah, south of here. Oh, that guy got C&D'd by Disney? Interesting. Oh yeah, I think someone told me that once and I just kind of forgot about it. Wait. There's this giant skeletons here, but then there's a bunch of decay mites. They seem like scavenger creatures. They don't really seem like predators. I know it's predators, but whatever, man. Wait. They have cave geysers? I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's just... you know what's wild? There's geysers on Naboo. The recent Legends, like Friday feature mentioned there's a geyser on Naboo, and I was like, huh, never saw it. It's like one of those unmarked POIs. And this one's an actual marked POI, and it's never come here. And then I'm like, wait. I know these geyser things like exist, right? I know they're there. I've seen them in other places. It's just I don't see like it often. So when I come across it, I'm like, huh. But going back to the thought about like people don't want to see you taking galaxies, it's not that nobody does, right? Like I'm sure some people do like the projects where it's like a mashup of like pre-CU, NGE, CU, and whatever. Some people are like, yeah, that sounds cool, because some people do like, oh, I like the CU combat more, but I want the content of NGE. Totally reasonable, and that's cool. But what I've realized playing on Legends, and especially as I engage with more of the game, more of the community regularly, is that while this game has, a long history, it's been broken open wide by people reverse engineering it or literally just looking at the code. Not everyone engages with the game on that level of detail to know like how defense odds are calculated, or like how some certain elements work in certain contexts, like for elemental weapons, just like stuff like that. So the amount of effort you would take for you to, do something that you feel is better and is more interesting, you have to do it for the intrinsic value of you just enjoying it. And that's true for a lot of stuff, right? And it's like, Burrito, you're just saying like sane normal shit. I'm like, I know. But I've seen some of these development projects take on these big things and have these expectations behind them in fan emulator communities, not specifically SWG community always, right? Just like fan emulator communities in general, they'll do a thing. And then it's so far off of like what people generally anticipate. They're like, that's cool, but like I just want to do the thing. Especially with these games that require live servers to play on, right? If you're doing like your own like, Super Mario World hack, people are like, "Oh, cool. Do Super Mario World stuff to play." But when you're doing like a sustained thing that has servers going like an MMO, people just kind of usually want to play the MMO, and they appreciate new content, but they don't always appreciate you tinkering with shit. I'm trying to think of a good example. In like the case of Legends, that was maybe a controversial thing, but honestly, most of the things they've done have been pretty well received. I guess some people disliked the quality of life changes because it took away too much from certain elements socially, but I disagree. I think they're all good. But you know me, I love all my travel options. Speaking of traveling, here we are at the Hyperdrive Research Facility. Where do I get the badge? Okay, in front of it. Cool. There's a location badge. And this one's in here, down here somewhere. We'll be interesting to see if Disney was planning to do an SWG MMO. Until the Old Republic runs out its license and another studio comes up with an idea and Disney gives a shit to look at it, I don't think you're going to see one for a long time. Not a new one, anyways. Run, stop, wait, click on it. And we'll just drive over to this next one. Cool, there's our Storm jet piece. But as I was saying, or as I guess more as Mo was saying, they're just protecting IP. Oh yeah, 100%. Like I don't think they were afraid of a SWG mock-up in UE6 usurping their SWTOR player base or whatever. They're just maintaining IP and they don't want, for legal reasons and whatever. It's the same reason like Nintendo takes down a lot of fan emulator projects. They're like, we're just protecting our IP rights. We don't really care if people make their own Mario mods, but we don't really want people messing with our brand. Evolve. Yeah, Evolve did the CU combat with some NGE content. I think it's really cool. That's a great project. I appreciate those emulator projects that try and do something fresh or new, whether it's takes on new content, like, you know, your take on... I've like multiple emulators, as someone else pointed out to me before, have done an Avatar Station platform hard mode. Legends has their version. I think Restoration has a version of it. Yeah, but there's like I think that's cool. I don't think everyone just needs to like boot up, you know, SWG source, run it on their own and whatever, because like why would they... You take your version over Legends, you don't have the player population, it's the same game, you got to do something different. I think it's more interesting when people take something and keep developing it, because just maintaining something in its perpetuity is valuable in terms of archival, but I don't find it as interesting in terms of just being gameplay. Because if this game was still alive, it'd still be iterated on and developed for in some capacity. You could argue that that's just like, you know, more trading card loot cards or whatever, but that's still something. Why is this one Gungan tilted, but the refs don't really seem to care? Whatever, we're murdering him anyways. He's hoarding this Soul Leecher sword, and I need it. But, I'm glad that Legends takes on unique projects and innovates, even if it's like not always something that's exactly for me, or maybe something that I would do differently. I appreciate it when they do those things. I also really appreciate it when they tackle maybe more controversial things, like changing a profession skills or expertise a little bit for it to like just suck less. I know they don't always do it. There's some hesitation they have around it, but... And by that, I mean, like, for example, Smuggler's second skill tree had a couple debuffs that just... One of them didn't work correctly, and then one of them just really didn't do anything. I'm referring to Skullduggery and Impossible Odds. But Legend staff fixed them to work as they were intended to work. That's great. I love seeing changes like that. So I like when servers do that kind of thing. It's not that I don't want to have the purest SWG experience. It's just I think, like, again, if the game was still going, it would be evolving, right? I'd rather see it continue to evolve and be a living project, not just be like, hey, here it is. Again, I think there's still some value in that, but it's more value of like, I'll pass by, look and go, that's interesting, not something that I want to continually keep playing. D-Space is not well received by peers. That's just because they just don't play up there. Not all of them, at least. Hobbyists that want to dev the game but don't want to do it for Legends. Some of them don't really care. That's fine. I think some of the devs that don't dev for Legends used to dev for Legends and left the team for one reason or another. Could have been a difference in visual direction, or it could have been from some people got probably been they're like booted off the team, etc. So, and then some of those devs just have different ideas, like Evolve. They want to have CU combat and NGE. That's not on the Legends playlist, so they're gonna go do their own thing, and that's fine. But if everyone's just making like they're just booting up their own SWG source servers and just running NGE again, it's like whatever. It's like the people who similarly they're taking the SWG emu code base that's out there, and which is openly and available, and then just booting up pre-CU servers. And I'm just like, that's cool, but a lot of them are just, they just look like SWG emu. Like, they're not giving me a reason to try them. Or they're just like SWG emu, but even with less functionality. So I'm like, again, what's the appeal here? Come at me when, like, you got something. Not to be mean. They can do whatever they want. That's their hobby. That's fine. It's just more like, I've seen some servers start up recently. I'd openly post on forums or social media platforms, kind of passive-aggressively upset that people aren't playing on their emulator, and I'm just like, well, what does your emulator have? Oh, we have double XP rates. I'm like, okay, but it's the same game at heart. Sure, you'll progress faster, but if I put a picture of SWG Emus Finalizer next to your server, does it look different? Is there anything different that I'm doing at any point? No. Then don't be upset that people aren't going for it, because they'll look at this picture and go, how many people play on this server versus this server? And they're going to go, well, I'm just going to go with the higher pop then. It's not like anything against the dev. It's just like, don't set unrealistic expectations. Apparently I have 2 items over here, or I made the same waypoint twice. No, there's 2 items over here. If he was still going, they surely would have upgraded the engine. God. I'd hope they would have. This engine's spaghetti stinky. Alright, apparently I've arrived at this rebel base. Apparently I'm going to steal these boots. So they're mine now. Is this even a POI? I don't think so. And then in here there's a who's sleeping with the fucking sword in their bed. Alright, so we got the sword and boots from here. I guess I'll go and fast travel out to Normal? Let's go to Normal. Alright, we're in Normal. Apparently there's one right over here that I missed. That's awkward. Look, we're gonna stop. The Rantok blade, I think this is what this is. Oh, well, this is the Taskmaster sword, but it's a variant on that skin. I'm technically right. Alright, we're at the Yaren's bunker. I guess. I gotta click on something in here. Is it all the way down at the bottom? Yeah. I think I need to click on the Underworld Blade, but I'm gonna bet as soon as I click this, we're gonna have dudes from upstairs charge down and try and fight me. But let's see. I cleared out this room. Where is it even? Oh, it's so tiny. Yep. I knew it. Oh, hey guys. Alright, well, at least they all came down at the same time, so they all ran into my grenades and died. Let's wait. Click it. Alright, let's go out to the middle of nowhere, I guess, in the center of the map and pick up the Crusader. Yeah, it's pulled almost the entire base. That's funny. So going back to like the developing unique takes or whatever on the game, like if I had the developmental talent / skill, or have cultivated that skill, I should say, realistically, I'd probably just try and contribute to an ongoing project like Legends, as ultimately I want people to play what I work on, and I don't think there's enough intrinsic value in me for me to make the Star Wars Galaxies game I'd want to see on my own. And thinking about the changes that I would want to make, it starts bordering on so many changes that it's more like a sequel or something. Like, at that point, like, you should just make your own game with your own IP. It'd be a very different looking game if I was to do everything that I'd want. Examples being probably expectedly some of the more hot takes, I guess, that I have that I didn't know were hot takes, like relegating Entertainer to a sub-profession and moving the image design services over to like an NPC or a terminal and changing the build buff to like either like a consumable item or a terminal or something. Because for image designer, it's awkward telling somebody what you want and them sliding it. Maybe you could leave in this game as like you could go to like a hairstylist, quote unquote, for that. But I don't like people touching my character because best optimization is my character. Leave her alone. And then second, the build-a-buff thing I've talked about before. It just sucks going into the cantina and then it goes AFK. It moves accidentally while you're buffing and you have to retick up. Entertainer gets your buff wrong. They don't see your message and you gotta bug them. You know, it's just inconvenient. And I'd rather just it be a different system altogether. And I think Entertainer, as I've had this discussion with people, I've come to agree that Entertainer as it is in Star Wars Galaxies, even late in the game in NGE, is more of a holdover from the pre-CU era of there's the expectation to go into a place to specialty buff In the later versions of the game, this is not the case. Also, we got the Crusader Heavy Rifle. Let's go to the imp base. But yeah, so like in NGE, like on Legends, for example, there's just people running AFK medics to give you med buffs and AFK officers to give you officer stims. You don't really get that as part of just being in a group anymore. You can, but they're usually expertise sacrifices. So a lot of players, like myself, I don't run the tactical supply drop. That's 5 expertise points that I can use on anything else, like having all of the ranged and melee abilities. You know what I mean? It's like, why would I do that? Those are things that like I would change. Either that they're just not there, or there's other ways of getting them, or whatever have you, right? There's been some good suggestions in the community to just give alternatives to some of those. Instead of having to run out to officers to get tax all the time, you can like use either credits, or you can do combinations to get like similar items but on a longer duration. So like you go to like, for example, a factional recruiter would spend, invasion tokens, and then you'll have the equivalent of a officer tack for like 24 hours instead of 5, and then has infinite uses for that 24-hour period, that kind of stuff. I still think that's like is still annoying and inconvenient. I'd rather just not do that altogether. But if that's the compromise, then sure, why not? So in short, if I'm gonna like, if I were SWG dev, which I'm not, I have not built that skill set, I would ultimately probably just compromise and work with an ongoing project and develop content or help work on content that I would want to see people engage with. Not basically rebuild an MMO to basically be something completely different, and then people go, this isn't what I thought it was. I just want to go farm Night Sisters for 4 or 5 ways packs. I don't want to see how you quote unquote fix Jedi or whatever. You know what I mean? So running around Rori is the perfect time to talk about stuff like this, because otherwise it's a bunch of swamp. Granted, we're actually seeing bunnies now. We're in the better, objectively best part of Rori where there's rabbits. Also, here is the Imperial encampment. There is another exploration badge here. But let me click on this first, and then we'll run around and see if we can't find that badge. We got Stormtrooper leggings in here. Hello, fellow Stormtrooper. I am here to steal your pants. Please do not ask questions. I probably outrank you. If I don't, I could beat you in a fight. So don't mess with me. All right, now let's see if I can't find where the point of interest bag is. Power regulator. Oh, this is like one of the, yeah. We don't need to do that. Okay, cool. It's actually near where the POS. Hey, that's my 175th badge. Wow. I am a moderate collector. Well, kind of like, I get what they mean. Like you've corrected a moderate amount of badges, but it seems kind of somewhat backhand. Like, you're moderately good at this, I guess. I'm like, oh, thanks. Okay, now I just gotta find a spot where my ITV fits. Alright, so we are at the Pygmy Torton Cave. We're gonna do our usual of checking the surface, but I am 99% sure it's in the cave. And it sure is. So let's go in the cave, I suppose. Is it over There it is. Alright, so here's the sickle. I'm here for a sickle. Yuck. Stop. This Torton might get mad. I should just... Sorry, buddy. Alright, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Click it. It's neat blade. A lot of these, I think all these weapon skins are available somewhere in the game. Some are more rare than others. Like the poison spike that we saw during the Dathomir exploration and collection stuff, I was like, I don't remember where this weapon skin's from. I like the big turtle. They are funny. That's why I have one as a pet. Too bad I only use them for PvP, and I don't PvP on my medic. And usually when I do, it's at Restus, and he hates being there. He hates being on his home planet of Rori. Poor guy. I vibe with that, though. Alright, we're coming over to our next collection. Is it in a cave again? Well, it's either underwater or in a cave. Probably in a cave. Yep, it's in the Borglebat cave. I hope you're not afraid of Borglebats specifically. I'm not going to say if you should worry if you're afraid of bats. Borgles are next level, gross. I like bats, but Borgles are a little weird, and it's mostly because they kind of remind me of a spider mixed with a bat, because it looks like they got, like, these, like, more than one eye. I don't think they do. I think they're supposed to have, like, one eye, and then, like, the rest of these are, like, freckles, and they have these big, stupid-ass teeth that look stupid. But I can also see how someone, like, looks at that and goes, ew. Because I go ew at it. I much prefer the wing-clipped hawk bat, but I think basically everybody does. Because your only other bat option in this game is the Gackle bat, which they kind of got hit with the ugly stick, too. I feel like I ran through the Night Sister Cave layout like 4 times today. Speaking of underground geysers, there's another one. Wait, what the hell was that on the ground? Oh, those random cave bushes. Cool. Ah, here's the weapon, though. Stop. Wait. Click. Got him. Ooh, I looted the Eye of Mersa at some point. I want to read it. Enter a question you like to ask the eye. Am I a pretty girl? Better not tell you now. Wow. Fuck you too. Fucking rude. I'm beautiful. You know what? I'm gonna delete you for that one. Get out of here. That one's broken. Alright, we're at the Rebel Outpost in the southeast section of Rori. Got that 6 starport here. Looks like I got an item right around over here. Battle armor bicep. Click. Got him. Alright, time to go drive out into the swamps again for the last time today. Who knows? I might have to come back for something that I missed. Alright, so we're here at, this place. Some random Imperial setup. And I'm going to take their belt that they left outside in the swamp. I'm sure there's no problem with that. Got him! Thanks, troopers. Good job locking down the sunken tower and low wall. These Nudfas don't stand a chance at infiltrating your ranks. Well, anyways, that's it for Rori. At least for now. Got all those clickies and got all my exploration badges. So that was pretty good. Next time, another planet. Woo!